shot. Come on. Yeah!
Needs it.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cadillac Extreme XBC. It's PWBA Waterloo Open time. We've got the top 5 finalists. What a show it is going to be. Good evening again. My name is Emil Williams Jr. and pleased to be joined once again by the wonderful Sydney Brummett. Sid, how are you this evening?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you as always. Sid joined us for round 2 of match play, and we watched a lot of things go down in that final round of match play. Sid, we've got 5 talented finalists led by the #1 seed here tonight, Shannon Pluhowsky. How many times have we said she's the lone lefty on a show or in match play? That is the situation today. Multiple shows this season in a very familiar spot. You alluded to it earlier the last time we saw her. Thinking about throwing a different ball, she made a different decision. I don't know if she's going to make that same decision, but the purple was purple in the day, and I think that might be the play. How about you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be in the back of her head. I made a show last time on a shorter pattern, and then I got to the show, and I went away from what I was, what got me there. And so I think today she'll use that to her advantage. She'll, I jokingly said 23-time member of Team USA, and we're hoping she learns from something. But that is really what happens out here on tour. We're continuously learning, banking those experiences, and that's what's in store for us today with Shannon Pluhowsky. Hopefully she sticks to her game plan.
Jordan Richard is the #2 seed. She is the front runner for PWBA Player of the Year. I think we've had a front seat actually to all of Jordan's titles so far this season. She's got 3. This is her 5th championship round appearance already this season. She's back at it. Sid, what do you like and what do you expect from Jordan here tonight?
We're seeing the most confident Jordan Richard that I've ever seen. We go back a long time, so I feel like I can say that. I've never seen this from her, and it is incredible. So I'm imagining we're just going to see that same type of confidence that we've seen all season. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see how the right side develops for her.
The #3 seed tonight is a very familiar face, but we don't see a lot of her. She is now entering her sophomore campaign in Nebraska, and that is Jillian Martin. She is the youngest player to win a PWBA Tour event. That happened in 2021. In fact, 2 years to the day, folks, she won that title and became the first to do it, or the youngest to do it in that regard. It's fun to see Jillian Martin. She's always great to watch when she is here. What do we expect to see from Jillian here this evening?
The energy. We expect to see the energy. She is all in on every shot that she throws down the lane. So from her, she's fearless. She's not out here every single week competing day in and day out. So when she does come out here, she leaves her heart on the lane, and I'm excited to see her do that tonight.
And tonight in the opening match, the #4 seed, Diana Zavjalova, who has been phenomenal, super consistent, comes in tonight into this event 4th in points overall. She is making her 4th consecutive show dating back to the Grand Rapids Classic, Bowler's Journal Cleveland Open, then the U.S. Women's Open. As we take a look at Diana Zavjalova practicing here, DZ, simply put, she's been bowling well. She's confident, great mindset. She's happy. Just hoping for a few more breaks this time around in the Stepladder final.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to keep knocking on the door. In other sports, 30% of the time, if you're doing well, you have a really good record. And so it's a matter of time before that 30% statistic comes into play for Diana. I think we could see that happen for her here tonight.
And finally, making her first career national telecast, Kerry Smith from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Just a couple of weeks ago, I watched her at Nesbitt's Lanes in Plum, Pennsylvania, just near her hometown. Win a PWBA regional. That was her 2nd regional. She's also a PBA regional champion, and now she gets the opportunity that she's been coveting, certainly, and working so hard for. She got an opportunity to win her first PWBA national title. What do you expect from Kerry?
I would expect Kerry to feel the most comfortable that she possibly could coming into her first show. She gets to play her A game. She can slide pretty far to the right, playing the gutter. We know when Kerry has friction to the right, she's going to play well. So it's just, can she keep her feet underneath her, remain patient and confident, and know that the pins will fall her way if she just makes great shots.
Practice is nearly complete, folks. We'll get you underway in just a second. What an excitement. I want to thank the AB family, Rich, wonderful proprietors here. I want to thank Mick and Angie, all of the volunteers so far here at Cadillac XBC. We're only or nearly one event through 3 here. There's a lot actually on the line, not just tonight. We've got the Pepsi Open beginning tomorrow. And then we have the Tour Championship. It is Tour Championship week. And so for a lot of players this week, obviously, they're coming in looking for great performances to try to secure a spot in the Tour Championship, which is our final event of the season. There are some folks here who could be outside of that top 24. Certainly a win would get them in. So there is much more on the line. We've got the PWBA Player of the Year race that we talked about. Jordan can go one step further and kind of clinching that, if you will. Our Rookie of the Year race still to be determined. There is a ton. Super, super exciting week, and we will kick things off here in just a moment. First shot. That works. No, it will not. How about that? Well, that's a tough way to start right there. Good shot, 7-pin.
It is. Great opening shot from Diana. A lot of when it comes to these TV shows is getting comfortable on the pair. That shot a little bit further right down lane than what I had seen from her shots in practice.
Nice opening spare. First shot coming up for Kerry Smith. For Kerry, last time I saw her again mentioned in that Pittsburgh Regional. 38 years old. She was on an island out there. The gutter played. It's been a short pattern, 37 feet. Players have been bowling on this week. Anytime Kerry is in her comfort zone, and she always talks about it, and because of that, here she is right now, but she had to make the shots. She goes through the nose to start here, Sid.
Yeah, her ball hooked a tad bit early. It would be no surprise if this first shot was just a little slower than the shots in practice. In practice, you're throwing shot after shot after shot. Adrenaline gets pretty high, and you're rolling. And it seems that sometimes in that 10 minutes of warm-up that you get, your shots are going down the lane pretty fast. And then your heart rate slows down, throw that first shot, and it's a tad bit slower.
I mentioned the two-time PWBA regional champion, one-time PBA regional champion. She is also part of the coaching staff. She and Jeff Smith, head coaches at Alvernia University in Reading, Pennsylvania. And no roll of the 2. You know, Sid, obviously with 4 righties and obviously just on one pair, they've already been practicing a little bit on this pair. So you anticipate the transition to be just a little bit different. And already seeing, at least on the right lane early, maybe some early hook. Could be a nerve or two.
It absolutely could be. It could also be, you know, how much surface was thrown on each lane. What's beautiful about bowling is that, you know, each lane is independent of one another. So 21 and 22, they don't have to be the same. So it could be that 21, at least from the sights of it through 3 shots, could be tighter than 22.
All right, Zavjalova, frame 2. Gets the 10-pin to fall. 32-year-old recently celebrated a birthday on August 1st. Mentioned coming in 4th in points, her 4th consecutive show. There's a lot of 4s. We should go play that in the lottery today. Ooh, what a kick on that 10.
I feel like we saw that hit a lot from Diana and all the other players the last couple days. when the players are this far to the right, they have guaranteed entry angle through the pins. Helps us get the 10 out a little bit more than usual.
Looking for the early double. Bang. Not as good as you can throw it. The additional fist pump. I believe she's throwing an exponent.
She knew that one was going to strike at the arrows, it felt like.
Not about 8, 9-ish at the arrows. That was just dead flush.
That's one where you sit back down in your chair and you close your eyes and you just try and see it over and over again. How many times in this match play scenario, this step ladder, can I throw it like that?
You hear a lot of come on carries. And the first to, as Sid would say, put a donut on the board. A 4.67 from Kerry Smith. And so far not looking completely comfortable to start here.
I'm not sure anybody could be completely comfortable those first couple frames on their first stepladder finals. If they are, they're a magician, and I would love to know their secrets. We should see her start to settle in here soon.
She talked about setting goals, huge components, both she and Jeff on goal setting, and talking to her collegiate players about goal setting. And she said, set a lot of smaller goals to make those larger goals seem a bit more obtainable. And coming into this season, her goals were to make a show and win a regional. Now she has completed both. Winning certainly would be the icing on the cake. Fourth frame. All right. Ease it up a little bit. That's a nice exhale, walking back from the approach after your first strike in your first stepladder finals.
It's like, whew, I knew I could do it.
Look at Kerry Smith. When you watch Kerry, what stands out for you?
Kerry's really good at keeping the ball in front of her, and it comes from how her swing is. It goes a little bit right to left, and it allows her to play the lane a lot straighter than the rest of us could. Like, I remember saying to the people here supporting me, I'm like, I wish I could play that far to the right. How can I stay that far to the right? And for her, it's like a superpower that some of us just don't have.
3 in a row. High flush there. The 7 and the 9 elite to go down, but it results in a 3-bagger for Diana Zavjalova Nenichka, married earlier this season, or early in the year, I should say. We talked about her mindset very early on. Oh, see the pin action. Fifth frame, Zavjalova. Count it.
I don't think she knew what she wanted that one to do. It was like hook, push, sit, carry, do something cool.
Do something cool indeed. Of course, the scoring pace has been essentially through the roof throughout. And there's been a few players to separate themselves, a la Jordan Richard, Shannon Pluhowsky, who posted monster numbers at various times of the tournament. And talked to Jordan Richard. She was expecting the scores to still be high. She knows she's going to have to strike, and every player will have to do so as well. There it is. It looked like a ball change, too, from Kerry Smith. She was throwing a stealth parallel for a good portion, or maybe even the majority of today and match play.
It looks like that is what she switched to on that lane. She's throwing a kinetic cobalt on the left lane, as well as her first 2 frames on that right lane. Stealth Pearl will be slightly cleaner.
Kerry Smith trailing by 35. Big double, though. Looking for her first three-bagger. High flush, carries the 4.
Best hit in bowling, in my opinion. Everyone has their favorite. That ball change from Kerry and both balls on doing the right thing on both lanes simply tells us that the right lane's hooking a tad bit earlier. Now, Kerry is further right through the front part of the lane than Diana is, so it could be that it's just for Kerry. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be that way for every player.
Zavjalova, as you can see, 4-bagger here. The drive for 5. Oh, 10-pin. See you later. I thought the pin carry for the most part, Sid, and you bowled, so you had a much closer view than I did, but I thought it was pretty favorable for the most part throughout.
It was. The only time I really saw players struggle with their pin carry was when their ball was hooking too early, wanted to bail and go forward down lane, meaning it just lost all of its energy. We would 10-pin, 7-pin, or 2-8.
Lead at 35 and looking for more. Zavjalova. Roll, how about it?
She should have watched that one.
Let's get that replay sponsor.
Come on, girl.
That too, as we mentioned and we saw during match play, a lot of favorable 7-10, 7-10s that were left for about a second, and then some nice messengers taking out both pins. How about that? Those are the breaks that she hasn't been getting, quite frankly. When she has made some shows, could this be the day? Well, back to Kerry. Trailing by 45. Man, a weak 10 there. And for Kerry, who hasn't thrown a bad game by any stretch, obviously the lone split, that's her only open to this point. Made a smart ball change. Obviously, when you get your opponent off to such a great start like Diana, it's very difficult to overcome that, and that is what we're seeing here. It's
been the story of the tournament. How do I keep up with the people that are striking 7 or 8 times a game? And so when you have an early split, and Kerry's body language is telling us she's hoping it will carry. It's not that she knows it will carry. That'll be the difference in these matches tonight.
And good evening to all of you. If you are just joining us, this is match 1 of the PWBA Waterloo Open Stepladder Finals. My name is Emil Williams Jr., joined by Sydney Brummett, Chase Kaufman, our producer. Down lane tonight is Patrick Martinez, capturing all of our shots and photos for the event. Big thanks to Cecil Scarborough, handling our talent stats. Eighth frame, Smith, indeed. Max score for Kerry, 234.
It's not too often we call a stepladder finals where 234 feels like it's almost a guaranteed loss before we even start the match.
Diana, who's been throwing, at least today, had a lot of success with the exponent. 900 global. Not as lucky this time around. And the 710 does fall. When you see those two, the last 2 hits for Diana, what does that tell you as a player?
I made the mistake during the block, and I assumed it was because my ball was going a little bit too long. Well, then I would make a move to the right, maybe 1, and I would go high. So really what I learned from that, and what most of the women learned, is when I flat 10 or 7-10, my ball's hooking a little bit early, and it's starting to bail down lane. So maybe a move to the left, so that way it will store a little bit more energy for her.
Again, Jillian Martin, the number 3 seed is awaiting the winner of this match. We will also have our first bowling ball giveaway in between matches as well. Ninth frame, important shot.
Great shot there from Diana. It did look like she made a small move to the left. More than likely a parallel move.
So with that open frame in the 8th, Kerry Smith, chances have improved, but she's going to need to do a little bit of work. It was a very close finish for Kerry. Brianna Cote had an opportunity to kind of run Kerry down late in the position round. Kerry could not find a strike. She had struck once in 9 frames and finally found a way to double in the 10th to secure it. Gets that one right when she needed it most.
It was right and firm. Ball never had an opportunity to slow down. It didn't have time to hook.
Nice spare. Washout converted. Max score now 214 for Kerry Smith, but it is not over until it's over. At anything less than 3 here in the 10th. As you get a good look at the 1-2-4-10, which seems now as rudimentary as a single pin, although those can be a little tricky from time to time for us all. But you know, washouts are literally like single pins now. Everyone makes. You guys are pros. You make washouts all the time. High flush.
I jokingly say quite often that splits are the same as single pins. It's just hitting a target. Target's just a little bit smaller. It's the same thing.
Any non-strike here. When you look at Diana's score, you know what the deal is. Stay behind the foul line and get pins, even if Kerry does strike out here. All right, that's going to do it. Diana Z. Moving on again in her 4th consecutive show. Kerry Smith shoots 204 in her first national Stepladder Finals appearance. And that's not a game to be hanging your head about, in my opinion.
Absolutely not. And these matches were going to come down to who could get lined up the fastest, be comfortable the quickest. And in this particular match, it was Diana. Having an early split for Kerry. It's very telling that that shot got back from the right. It kind of stopped me in my tracks in the middle of my sentence. But for Kerry, she has to take away the positives from this match. So that way when she's in this position again, she has something to root herself in, to know that, you know, this is possible. I've learned from it.
Again, Jillian Martin, who won her PWBA title, the youngest to win a PWBA Tour event. Of course, she was a non-member, still is a non-member. She's heading into her sophomore campaign at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. She is up next. DZ just took a look at a night road. Again, the Brunswick Mindset giveaway is coming up next. Chase Kaufman will get you all of the details here shortly. So first opportunity to win a bowling ball. 244 The official tally, 244 to 204. Zavjalova Ninichko will advance. She will face Jillian Martin, the number 3 seed.
We want to welcome to the PWBA Winners Circle, Brianna Clemmer.
This token is the Long Island Classic champion.
Dasha Kovalova, your 2022 PWBA Pepsi Classic champion.
And congratulations to Birgit Norreich, your 2022 Queen's champion.
Game 1 or match 1 is in the books. As we get set to welcome in Jillian Martin, she will take on Diana Zavjalova, who defeated Kerry Smith in her first National Stepladder Finals appearance, 244 to 204. Welcome back into the booth. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Pleased to be joined once again by Sydney Brummett. And Sid, first match, certainly a good one. Diana Zavjalova off to a very good start. She shoots 244. Kerry Smith, late good Kerry, only had one open. It was the split, but ultimately that was the difference. Jillian Martin now steps into this. I think she might be playing maybe a little further left, or at least around the same area as Diana Zavjalova. From the lane play perspective and the strategy, where do you expect Jillian to play, and how might it affect, if any, Diana Zavjalova?
I would expect Jillian to be a little bit further left than Diana. I've seen her throwing stronger pieces of equipment during the practice than she did during qualifying. So it's going to give her an advantage. She's going to be throwing into the friction rather than trying to stay where everybody else is. And with Jillian's ball roll, that is a big, big advantage for her.
Folks, here we go. Nice shot. What a way to open a match. Talked about her feeling a little bit lucky. And she did win a, I don't even know what the game was called, but there's like a, think a claw machine, an old school claw machine, but the 2023 version, which had a big plush bear of some kind. And she won it. So this could be the night.
I saw it over there, and I was a little jealous because I said I was going to win it, but now there's a giant dinosaur.
They already replaced it.
They did a green dinosaur, nice. And now I think I'd like to win that one.
First shot from Jillian Martin, and no. That's single pin left to deal with for Jillian. Jillian Martin. Hard to believe that she is only 19 years of age. From Stowe, Ohio, there's a look at her first shot. That was down at that one spot down lane, so we talked about earlier, where righty specifically seemed to, if you're going to miss there, as you said, you had to miss early, not late.
Yeah, with the pattern only being 37 feet, when you miss to the right late, you don't know what's there. Is it going to be carry down? Is it going to be dry? Who knows? It's it's like a grab bag. And so players want to avoid that at all costs. However, with Jillian's rev rate and her ball roll, she can get the ball back from there. It's going to be whether it goes through the pins the correct way or not. Unfortunately for her that time, it did leave a 10 pin.
Jillian was, quote unquote, absent, so to speak, from a few events. I think that most people were expecting her to bowl within these last year or so. But she's preparing, obviously, or had been preparing. First collegiate season now officially in the books. Helped Nebraska to a Final Four appearance. Great shot there. Final Four appearance for Nebraska this year. She was a first-team All-American, the D1 Division I Rookie of the Year. But decided, she was going on vacation with the fam, went on a cruise, went to Portugal.
One thing that has come from Jillian's first year of college bowling is she's a little bit more disciplined than she was previously in her shot making, I've noticed just this week. It's a testament to Nebraska and the structure that they provide their players. Her coach bowling this week, her assistant coach, Julia Bond, bowling this week. I watched Julia support her all day today.
Zavjalova. Kind of a strange hit a little bit there. She leaves a 7-pin. Collegiate bowling, of course, so important, not only across youth bowling, but you see the levels and the results, if you will, the work that the players have put in. Diana, a Weber International alum. Watch this hit on the 7.
It's like a light shaker.
Handles the spare. So look at the prize fund. $10,000 to the winner, $5,000 for second, $3,500 for third, $2,500 for fourth, and $2,000 for fifth. Again, part of a very large prize fund overall. And of course, the Tour Championship, a much different prize fund. Looking at $50K to the winner. Coming up on Tuesday night. Again, the first of 3 events. Pepsi Open will begin tomorrow. Zavjalova, third frame. Bang.
Perfect execution from Diana on that left lane. About 10 at the arrows, maybe 4 down lane. The reality is players didn't have to be perfect this week. Laterally. What I mean by that is if you missed your target at the arrows, it wasn't a big deal. If you missed your target down lane, wasn't a huge deal. As long as your ball was hooking in the right part of the lane.
Wow, high flush there for Jillian. You see the energy that ball had at the end of the pattern. I mean, it started to pick up, and then zoom toward the 1-3.
I had a coach when I was younger that would say, if it doesn't feel like your ball is being like vacuum cleaned into the pocket, your ball motion isn't that great. So he would have applauded that one.
Well, I mean, that was it Black & Decker or kind of what brand do we need here?
Dyson.
I need that right there.
Dyson.
Okay, I see you.
You know they have that fancy one, the slim one you can hang up on the wall?
Spoken from experience. Push. Bang, it did. Spare 3-bagger for Jillian Martin. You see Jade Martin had that tendency. Once she releases the ball, her hand and wrist will go to the right to keep that ball right. It's a good look. Part of the bowling center here at Cadillac XBC. Look at the players here. Someone asked about who's watching. Of course, Daria Payok and Verity Crawley are here watching their great friend. And Diana Zavjalova just to the left of your screen there. Into the swing. Zavjalova. Maybe? No. Good shot. Type of hit is that per se? So it may not have a name, but just how far or how much is the ball coming just behind the head pin in that regard?
Oh, less than measurable. But if you watch the ball go through the pins, the ball wants to go through the 9 pin. It wants to go right through the pin deck. Knowing that we're bowling on 37 feet and the experience that these players have had through qualifying, we can expect to see Diana make a small move to the left or maybe even ball change to something cleaner on that right lane. I do think Kerry Smith was on to something. She did have a few misses to the right that resulted in not so favorable outcomes, but ultimately the cleaner ball in the right lane was the right choice for her.
If you are just joining us, this is match 2 of the PWBA Waterloo Open Stepladder Finals. The opening match featured Diana Zavjalova and Anichka defeating Kerry Smith, who was making her first career national stepladder finals appearance, 244 to 204. Zavjalova, 5th frame, trailing by 20. That's a good break. Just the 4-pin.
I would love to see Diana make a move to the left. Players got practice. She got that one to the right much earlier than ones prior on that lane, but the players that had practice there before this match started may have caused a little bit of transition for her. And in this moment, she may be blaming herself. That happens on occasion, especially for some reason with women in bowling. It's my fault. I didn't execute how I wanted. It wasn't perfect at the arrows, maybe down lane. But it, like we've seen from Jillian, Jillian hasn't thrown the last 3 shots exactly the same. So it's about being matched up, being in the right part of the lane with the right angles.
J Mart. You see the setup. See how far she stands back on the approach. Really gets the feet moving. Backs forward to lay off. It does not. It kind of ricochet right into the 1-3. And now the first player to actually leave a split. Diana's broken down one of her own. Jillian Martin not so lucky here.
We're seeing transition that would have naturally happened around game 3 of the match play rounds. Round 1 and 2 of match play, it would have been about game 3 because of the amount of practice that we've seen on the pair. If I remember correctly, we saw quite a lot of donuts in game 3 this afternoon.
Yep.
And that's just the pairs going through transition. That split gives Diana life. If Jillian strikes there, Diana may feel that she has to start to press to keep up with the scoring pace, and now it's just continue to work the process, make my moves, stay patient.
Martin still with a 7-pin lead at the moment. Looking to get back on track. That's a better shot. And the result said so. Excellent rebound from Jillian Martin away from the split 5th. And Zavjalova, who is yet to double here in match number 2. I will step up here in frame 6. Thank you to all of the just gold, silver industry partners, apparel representatives, as well as ball brand manufacturers, all of the PWBA product registered companies. 6 frame. I don't think she was sure about that one, Sid.
She did not like it. It's a beautiful part about bowling. It's math class, not art class, right? It doesn't have to be cute.
The end result looked fantastic, but she stepped out of it immediately and was given that look like, please do something good. And that was just dead flush. Seventh frame, and we could have ourselves maybe a new game. How about it? And there it is. And a lead change into the favor of Diana Zavjalova. You get a look at what you see in the right corner, top right corner of your screen. Those are the PWBA champions of this season entering our championship week. Sherry Tan, of course, Jordan Richard. Lindsay Boomersheim picked up her first career title this season at the USBC Queens. Verity Crawley, Stephanie Zavala, and Brianna Cote, who won the U.S. Women's Open.
Diana went and sat down and grabbed that giant bear. Just hugged it.
Good shot there, 10-pin for Jillian. What did you see there, Sid?
Jillian's ball roll is fairly forward for a woman. Typically, we'll see women get around it a little bit more. We need to allow our ball to go through the pins the right way. Jillian's always been a little bit more forward than everyone else. So ultimately, on this oil type and this lane condition, when we have to circle the lane, that forward ball roll every once in a while can result in a flat 10. She's very close to striking. It's a matter of, are you gonna throw it exactly the same next time? Probably not. Not the exact same rev rate, exact same rotation. We're not robots. So for her, it's just throw another good one. More than likely, it was a move off of the split on that lane.
Jillian trailing by 3. Those who are curious in the chat, again, the N does mean non-member. Yes, her earnings will be deposited into her smart account as well. As long as she said so. Just like that strike.
I bet Julia Bond standing back here is really hoping that she said so.
Look at the points race entering this week. Jordan Richard leading that pack again for the PWBA Player of the Year, followed by Lindsay Boomershine and Brianna Cote. There is Diana Zavjalova, again so consistent in 4th. Dasha Kovalova 5th, Birgit Nordreich 6th, Maria Jose Rodriguez 7th, Danielle McEwen, Verity Crawley, Shannon O'Keefe, your top 10. There you see Erin McCarthy and Lauren Pate, who bowled very, very well today. That's got a hook. It does. Oh, get on the horse ball.
She saw the one in the 6th frame get back from there and said, all right, bet. Let's run it again.
The Tour Championship is the 3rd event. That is a members-only event, so Jillian will be competing, obviously, here. She will also compete for the next 2 days at the PWBA Pepsi Open. And then she told me that she's going to be moving in. Speaking of Nebraska, move-in day for her is this coming Sunday. And she'll be heading back to Lincoln to begin her 2nd year of college.
Perfect timing.
13-pin advantage for Zavjalova. The foundation. Indeed.
I want to know if she hugs the bear.
If she wins the tournament, I think she would have to bring the bear to the booth.
I agree.
We got a few matches to go
I
before
agree.
we can get there.
Foreshadowing. She did, by the way.
Jillian stepping up, trailing by 23. Her max score is 236. And a point where she needs him. That was a great shot, perhaps the best of the match. She can make things very interesting for Diana. Oh, good look at it. Nice job, Chase. There's DZ. There's Gene Koenig. I don't know what we've named him, the bear, but we know they are sponsored by Storm.
He matches her outfit.
That's solid stuff. Again, Jillian, she cannot shut out Diana. But if she can double, she's going to force Diana to perform in the 10th frame. That is one. Pured it.
About 13 through the arrows to the same spot down lane as Diana. 5-6.
This one to put her in the 230s.
That's
It's
right.
Right. And got into a kind of that weird zone down lane.
Yeah, it's there late, right? If it gets there 5 feet sooner, maybe not even that, 3 feet sooner, it gets back from there. She would want it to get to that same spot at the front of that first rangefinder rather than the back of it. Rangefinders are 3 feet long. Takes the one. Her final score, 223.
All right, Diana, simply put, knows what she has to do. Fill the frame here. She's going to advance to face Jordan Richard. And she will take a moment. Might have been a small distraction there. Off to her right.
How cool that she is self-aware enough to say, you know, that would have affected my shot, my process. And to have two friends sitting behind you and say, yeah, good work. Take your time.
Diana, so courteous, keeps her rosin in a plastic bag. Mark, and she advances. There it is. What a shot after the reset. 2 up, 2 down for Diana Zavjalova-Nenichka.
Yeah, if she throws that first shot knowing that there was a distraction to her right, I would liken it to like running a yellow light. You know, you may get hit, you may not, but you're taking a risk. And instead, she chose to just slow down, stop, wait for the green light, and now I'm good, I'm ready. I know I'm safe. I'm focused and prepared for this shot ahead of me.
3 pins mathematically. That's going to get more than 3. How about 10?
She looks off to her ball reps. They give her a head nod. I imagine that means she's going to try a night road again on this fill ball. Typically, players, as we make our way through a tournament, find the progression that we prefer on this particular oil pattern, this oil type. Stick to that progression and just work our way down it. At the beginning of the tournament, during practice, it can feel like a little bit of a guessing game. But once you know, it makes life much easier.
That is back-to-back games of 240 or better. 249, 223. Nice tournament again for Jillian Martin. Was looking to make more history 2 years to the day when she became the youngest to win a PWBA Tour event. But that is not to be. Instead, Diana Zavjalova. Hello to the Nenichka family. She is moving on to face the hottest bowler on the PWBA Tour in Jordan Richard. That is all next, but first a word from RotoGrip.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Johnson.
Hi, I'm Shannon O'Keefe.
And this is Duo.
Announcing the latest breakthrough from RotoGrip, the Duo, a new symmetrical bowling ball that performs on and off the lanes. HP3 striking power. Plus, a portion of every Duo purchase will be donated to Big Brothers and Big Sisters. That's Big Brothers and Big Sisters everywhere.
We're Shifani, and that's the Duo from RotoGrip.
Teaming up to make a difference. For Big Brothers and Big Sisters, you and the Duo from RotoGrip.
Back inside the booth momentarily. Match 3 coming up next. It's the semifinal match. And boy, we've got a tale of 2 really good bowlers who are having 2 really good seasons. Diana Zavjalova taking on now the number 2 seed here tonight in Jordan Richard. Jay Rich looking for her 4th PWBA title of the season. Of course, Diana Zavjalova trying to end the title drought. Hadn't won since 2018. 2 240 games for Diana. But for Jordan specifically, Sydney Brummett, we've watched her all season. We know at this point, we already know what to expect. We know that she's going to be ready. We know that she's going to strike. Will they be in similar areas of the lane to do such things? And will it be enough from a striking perspective? Because Diana's got some really good rhythm right now.
Yeah, Jordan and Diana will be very similarly together on the lane laterally. Jordan's ball will pick up sooner than Diana's. That's why we saw Jordan have a little bit higher of a scoring pace throughout qualifying. It allowed her to strike more. But if you were just walking around the bowling center and watching them, you'd think they're doing the exact same thing. They're both at, 12 at the arrows, 5 down lane. I tried that, and I went -8 the first block. It was not the same thing they were doing. And then I said, what in the world are these people doing that I'm not? Surface prep was way different the next block. Caused 170 pin difference.
First shot for Jordan Richard, 4-pin. 5-time titleist now, again, 3 titles in 2023. Take a look at that opening shot.
Saw her chatting with her ball reps during the warm-up time that she had, the practice time that she had. And one of them was extremely passionate about that the ball would get through the front part of the lane on the left lane. Looked like the message he was trying to get across. Sometimes it's difficult as a player to trust someone who is watching because you haven't done it. You haven't seen it yet. And these title matches, these semifinal matches, for Jordan, she's paid a lot of testament to her team that she's surrounding her with, her ball reps. She's given them a lot of credit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see her throwing 2 different balls here. She's choosing to go with the same ball in both lanes. That left lane is much cleaner through the middle part of the lane. The right lane, she was begging for it to push. Get down there. That one, I wasn't quite so sure it was going to get up the hill. I thought it may even 2-pin.
It is a roto grip high wire. If she does make a change, we might see the exponent or the clone. All right, back-to-back single pins to start here for Jordan Richard. Big shout out to the Williams fam watching. My wife Shanice and my sons are watching, I'm told. So hello to Trey, who just celebrated his 4th birthday a few days ago. And hello to Enzo. Shout out to the Graham family as well, because everyone's watching. Zavjalova, bang. If determination was a person right now, it's DZ in.
Being Diana's opponent and having the higher seed, not so sure my choice would have been to allow her to finish on this right lane. She's seen it be left down lane, right down lane, and every single time it's gotten back for her. Each match she has started and been able to finish on that right lane.
Oh, with that 4-pin, send it from left to right. An early 3-bagger for Zavjalova, again facing arguably the most difficult opponent of the season. Third frame. Might be time for a ball change, perhaps. I think she threw that one pretty good.
I liked that one for her. Piece feels too clean to my eye, meaning we're not really seeing it change shape until maybe a foot past the second rangefinder. Like I said at the top of the match, what made Jordan strike so much in comparison to everyone else who throws it with their right hand is it picks up a little bit sooner, gets into a roll more. She's going to take a second and chat with her team.
This timeout brought to you in part by our next giveaway, Storm. Storm Products, proud gold partner of the Professional Women's Bowling Association. Big thanks to Brunswick, again Kegel, Roto Grip, Storm, and as of recently, Lane Talk, official gold partner here. The United States Bowling Congress and all PWBA.
Shout out Lane Talk. Seriously, they sent me an Instagram DM probably about 2 hours ago and showed me how I can find my digital stats.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what a shot. Makes the change.
Ends up going to an exponent. Steeper through the front part of the lane than the other ladies on the pair. 13-14 through the arrows. Got it there quicker. That one had more of a chance than the 3 previous shots that we saw. Converts the spare. However, it leaves Diana very much in the driver's seat of this match.
Well, Jordan Richard is beginning, and her scorecard is looking like Kerry Smith's in the position round where it was 9 spare. I mean, she had 3 strikes in the 10th, 1 in maybe the 5th. Everything else surrounded by 9 spares.
And frankly, that's not going to win in this semifinal match. Scores are too high.
That was just a pitch out right there.
Huge miscue.
Just a bit outside.
Just heard Verity Crawley say 8 is better than 0.
That's true.
She's not wrong.
If that one had struck.
That would have been scary. I think it's scary how close it got to even hitting the head pin square on. Fortunate to leave the 210 much more convertible than a 2810. Gonna give it a run.
Nice. Diana Z. Look at the reaction. Is today the day?
I appreciate, it's personal for me, I appreciate how much she is enjoying the moment. In between her 2 frames every time, she's chatting with her ball reps, she's joking around, she's light, she's having fun. She's making faces and fun with Daria and Verity. So many times we're in these moments that we live and we dream for, and we forget to enjoy them. So I love that for her.
21 pin advantage, and Diana will take time. Again, just converting the 210. So front 3, great split conversion here in the 4th. Again, if you're just joining us, semifinals, number 2 seed Jordan Richard, number 4 seed Diana Zavjalova. DZ won her opening match, defeating Kerry Smith 244 to 204. And in match 2, defeated number 3 seed Jillian Martin 249 to 223. Frame number 5. Oh my. Okay.
I was nodding my head as that shot went down the lane. was quite good. Possibly firm in comparison to her others, but not that much of a difference. We have seen this left lane be tighter down lane, meaning the balls don't want to shape quite as well as they do on the right.
Good spare for Diana. I mean, if you think about just the last couple of frames, right? Pitch out, leaves the split, nearly throws it in the gutter, makes the 210. Will look to be a solid shot, as you mentioned, maybe a little firm, nearly a 710. Does not leave the split. All right, 5th frame, Jordan Richard. Oh, not sure she liked that one. But if she did like it, I think she was expecting still something different from the ball motion perspective.
When it would not count on that one striking every time it hits the 1-3. Ball goes through the 9 pin. 6 pin does its job though. Gets paid well enough that it took out the 10.
Sometimes it just takes one. Wow. Such a different ball motion than we saw from Jordan throughout any point almost throughout the tournament. The first 3 games of yesterday's qualifying round number 1, she went plus 35. She said she had to get her stuff together, and obviously went on to shoot 847 for the last 3 games. This was round 1, but her ball was never going right down lane. It was always driving hard. We're not seeing that here on the championship pair tonight.
No, the first ball that she started with was too long. This ball is hooking in the correct part of the lane. However, it doesn't want to continue to go left through the pins. It doesn't want to continue to roll the correct way. She's a professional. She has more than enough tricks in her bag. One that she could utilize is rotating it slightly more than she is currently, being a little bit more on the side of the ball. That would get the ball to store more energy and go through the pins better.
Saw DZ with that right hand. Moving, asking for that one to lay off, and it does. Advantage 20 pins for Zavjalova, and Jordan is still in this match. Again, the power of spare shooting. Super important. You're watching what Jordan is doing. You watch the split conversion to remain clean for Diana.
Yeah, if you want to know how many spares the women make throughout the week, check out Lane Talk.
There it is. You're a pro.
I was geeking over my own stats, so.
7th frame. That's better. And a similar hit again. We just saw Jordan leave the exact hit. And if you're just joining us, folks, the number 1 seed is Shannon Pluhowsky, who will not have to deal with what Diana and Jordan are dealing with currently. At least we don't anticipate that on the left side of the lane, being the only lefty.
Especially not in this instance. The pattern's short enough that the women are sliding far enough right where they're not going to get into Shannon's fronts. Occasionally when we see somebody who's left-handed as the 1 seed, the pattern will break down enough before it gets to them. The pattern will break down enough to where it gets to them. It feels like, oh my gosh, my fronts are gone. I have to do something completely different than what I was doing during qualifying. Where here, the women are going to slide right of 25 Shannon will slide around 15 more than likely, and she won't have to deal with that.
Jordan find a way to double. Another ball change here. Wow, another good break on the right lane. Couldn't tell, but that one might have been the clone.
Yes. It looks like green slime. Reminds me of Aliens.
I like the scheme. I like the color scheme.
Takes me to Nickelodeon, you know?
What you know about Nickelodeon?
Oh, I know a lot about Nickelodeon. I watched it. They produced a football game this year.
They did. The last couple
It was
seasons,
so
actually.
good.
The last couple seasons.
I'll probably tune into that one this year.
He's going to stick with the clone. On the left lane. A little bit of a move. There it is.
I like the move to the left, especially on the left lane. The bowling ball has to store enough energy to go through the pins the right way.
This is a weird match to where it feels like Diana has kind of dominated, but Jordan is just trailing by now just 10 pins. And you get the feeling we're at the finish line at this point. As long as Diana takes care of business, she's going to advance. If there is any hiccup, Jordan is gaining confidence. Big shot, frame 8. All right, 4 pin, maybe. Oh. Max score for Jordan Richard, 237. And just like that, folks, watch the 4 pin. Then maybe. There was a maybe and a maybe.
Diana's been consistently in the exact same part of the lane for all 3 of her games. Uncharacteristic miss there from D. And the lanes are transitioning. They're breaking down. She will have to make that move to the left, especially now.
Boy, if you're Jordan Richard, I mean, again, folks, if you wonder why spares are important, Jordan remains clean. That was the first open of the match by any competitor. And now it's resulted in a lead change. Richard, who did not like the ball reaction but made spares, finally in a spot with the right ball that she likes. It'll force Diana now to play catch up. But she may not have a chance. Jordan can step up and shut her out. 9th frame offering. There it is. All 10 back to the deck. The miscue in the 8th frame, will it come back to cost DZ a spot in the championship match against Shannon Pluhowsky, the #1 seed. Shot 804 the first 3 games in the afternoon block of match play earlier today. I believe 798 or so. The back 3-2. She is waiting in the wings, but first it's Richard. The foundation. Wow. And just like that, the back and forth continues. She now has an opportunity at a 210 conversion on the same right lane.
We spoke about washouts feeling like a gimme spare, almost like a single pin. And 210s can be like that as well. Obviously not as easy as a single pin. But it's something as a professional we expect to make a run at least. Jordan's max now 203.
if she gets all three in the 10th, Diana, because she struck in the 9th, could go spare 9. And the 2-pin, I think that was something you mentioned a little bit earlier, something you were thinking that might happen a few shots earlier, but here it is late.
Yeah, I'll stand on the hill if I liked the exponent for her. Just needed to be rotated slightly more. Bowling balls are great, and as professionals, we have tons of them, and it's easy to juggle through them. It's easy to think one of them's going to give you the magic pill to strike a ton. Sometimes it's a tiny adjustment with our hand or our ball speed. For guys, sometimes you throw loft in there, rev rate. That'll give you an opportunity to strike more. I'm a big proponent with my college kids. If a ball will give you 9, you probably have the versatility skill to help you help it get 10. But that's probably because we travel with 5 balls. That's it.
9 on the first ball. And Zavjalova will advance to the championship match. How about 10? DZN. She is on to the championship match. The PWBA Waterloo Open. They're in Waterloo, Iowa. Cadillac XBC. An interesting match that had a different ebb and flow to it. But the 4-pin, which, you think you miss a single pin late in the match when your opponent gets a double for the first time, that might cost you. It did not. And she finds herself in the title match.
Throwing the night road here in the fill again. Compared to her other shots with the night road, that one took off left much quicker. If I'm Diana, that means it's like a giant red flashing light. Please move your feet to the left. Appears she's going to throw the exponent again.
Diana or Shannon? Give them ladies a huge round of applause. Let's figure it out. It's going to be exciting. Last to strike. We're going to see here. Cadillac XBC.
Your game is about to get better. Introducing SPI Plus, a new digital magazine monthly from Storm. This month, practical advice from Danielle McEwen on setting goals and reaching them. Practice tips from Shannon O'Keefe and SPI Plus columns on your fit, fitness, even traveling tips. SPI Plus. Visit stormbowling.com, enter promo code 2023 and get the entire year free. Take your game to the next level with SPI Plus.
And we welcome you back inside the Bowl TV booth. We are ready for the championship match of the PWBA Waterloo Open. It is the first event of 3 here at the Tour Championship Week at Cadillac XBC. Emil Williams Jr., Sydney Brummett, Diana Zavjalova, Sid, right now climbing the ladder. She's at the top. The belt is right there. She's climbed it rung by rung. And she's got to face the top seed in Shannon Pluhowsky, who will have the left side of the lane all to herself. We've been talking about it since match play. Where do you anticipate Shannon Pluhowsky to play? And based on what we just saw at the end of the match between Diana and Jordan, what type of move, if any, should Diana make? You alluded to it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, Diana needs to make a move to the left if she wants to have a chance at her ball going through the pins the correct way for 10 consecutive frames. That's what she's going to need to beat Shannon P. Shannon P, we saw, can't really say that she slid left of 10 because she plants. So she made sure her lay-down point was very far to the left. And that's going to allow her to use that guaranteed friction that's built up in the pattern. With her being the only lefty, it's such a benefit. She dictated everything that happened to her side of the lane throughout all of practice and now for this championship match.
Diana to start again. Championship match. Excellent to hold. The energy in the building has gone up. And DZ starting for the 4th consecutive time. All of her opponents have said, hey, you go ahead and start the match, except for her. She had the opportunity for the first, as she was the higher seed in the opening match.
I'm staring off into the distance. You can't see in the booth, but Diana and Verity are joking around about something, and I'm just engulfed in it because I think they're hysterical together.
Oh. And a 7-pin there for Shannon Pluhowsky. Shannon, 41 years of age, just celebrated a birthday on August 8th. It's her 3rd show here in the 2023 season. She won the PWBA Tour Championship 2 seasons ago. Get a look at that 7-pin lead. And she will take care of business here. You got the full fam in attendance. They all made the drive. Son Christopher, daughter Autumn, or daughters Autumn and Emerson, wife Kerry. In fact, they've been traveling. They've made the trip, I think, for the majority of the season. Yeah, Autumn is involved in a lot of activities and athletics, but she's been out multiple times as well.
It's always a full family affair with the Pluhowskys.
Two-time major champion, and maybe a touch quick there.
I was thinking the same thing, firm. The ball needs time to hook. Chooses to go straight.
First mistake comes from Shannon Pluhowsky in the 2nd frame. 3-5-6 presented its challenges, and now Diana Z, it's keep facing forward, right? Keep pushing forward. Everything that she has done so far, she's even battled and whittled through some adversity where she made a mistake and it did not come back to play a role. Second frame. Yes, sir.
That is a small move to left for Diana. Firmer than what she was to end the last match. That ball speed will help her stay in the same part of the lane. Previously, she was at about 9 at the arrows on 22. Now she's at 11, 12. Bowling on 37 feet, the women have the opportunity to stay further to the right if they're right-handed than normal. We do see a lot of transition out here on the PWBA Tour. When the pattern is shorter, it forces our feet to stay to the right.
For an early 3-bagger. You bet.
If you're Diana, you want to capitalize on This 9-spare 7-1 from Shannon P. Not the start we would have expected to see from her, especially after the last qualifying round of match play that we saw, 8:04, followed by 7:98.
We got to look at the other finishers, those who just missed making the step ladder after match play. And the purple is purpling right there for Shannon Pluhowsky. Always quick to get up on the lanes, no time wasted on the approach. Left the 7-pin last time on 22. This time gets all 10 to fall.
Appeared to me the shot was further left at the arrows than the one previously. Knowing Shannon, she's keeping it very simple. My ball didn't hook enough, so I'm going to move closer to the friction.
For a double. There's one. She liked that one.
Kept that one in front of her.
Nice double for Pluhowsky. Needs the breathing techniques a little bit. But DZ keeping that routine the same each and every time.
Routines provide us so much comfort in these moments. It's like, okay, I know how to do this.
Bang! Zavjalova throwing some no-doubters here. To start the season, she finished 27th at Stockton. It was the only time she did not snag a check this year. 18th in Spokane, 6th at the Queens, 9th at the Grand Rapids Classic, 22nd at the Bowl TV Classic, 4th at the Great Lakes Classic, 5th at the Bowler's Journal Cleveland Open, and 4th at the U.S. Women's Open. Of course, those last three championship round appearances. She's got a 35-pin advantage and looking for more. Frame 5. Uh-oh. How about that?
She gets around that one, slightly further left down lane than she would have loved. All of that could have added up very quickly to some big 4 material. Donut on the screen. Instead, Diana's got the front 5.
This is the second time Shannon Pluhowsky has been the #1 seed. She finished the runner-up the Bowl TV Classic. She's going to need tons of strikes, and there's one. Turns that into a 3-bagger. If you allow Pluhowsky to get a bit comfortable, she'll start certainly repeating like clockwork, but as Diana has proven through 3 matches to this point, it's going to be hard to knock her off her game tonight.
Yeah, the vibes feel a little bit different with Diana today. More lighthearted, at ease. Have fun, enjoy the moment.
4 in a row, needs some help, and gets it. Sending pins as Shannon Pluhowsky. Again, mentioned the 2 shows previously. The runner-up finished at the Bowl TV Classic. She also finished 5th at the Great Lakes Classic. Those were 2 events as part of the Grand Rapids Classic series. What did you see here, Sid?
That one was further left down lane than the one we saw previously. The one in the 4th frame was more in front of her, more pointed at the 1-2. I was surprised that one got back and struck. I think she was as well. I more expected like a Swisher 7.
the third time we've seen Diana start and stop and reset throughout these matches here in this championship finals. PWBA Waterloo Open. Again, Emil Williams shooting with Sydney Brummett. Big thanks to Chase Kaufman handling all of our giveaways tonight. Our producer down lane tonight, Patrick Martinez, used to getting video content, handling the photo opportunities for us this evening. For 6 in a row. Bang!
First couple years out on tour for me, Diana was known for, at least in our rookie class, known for stopping when she needed to. Balking, I think, is the term most people like to use, and starting over. So for me, it's no surprise to see her do that. I applaud it. There's no way that during a tournament all of us are prepared every single time fully we step on the approach. And so for her to have enough willpower and self-control to say, I'm not ready to throw this shot, it isn't quite right, I'm going to start over, is admirable.
How about 7 in a row? You bet. Diana Zavjalova, Ninichka, putting in work. Pluhowsky still with life. She knows she's got to keep striking.
Go on, Shannon.
Gave the kind of that hand motion that she may have gotten over the top.
Not going to give the ball enough time to slow down, pick up, go through the pins. Hurts the spare. We're always joking around with her that her spare ball is what most of us throw for strikes, and then her strike ball is what most of us throw for spares. Much better shot from Shannon on the left lane.
Be another situation here where Pluhowsky bowls a very good game, but that's kind of been the theme of this week, especially on this pattern. A lot of players have bowled some significant games and have been on the losing end in match play.
Diana's had a lot of time to get comfortable on this TV finals pair. So even though Shannon is the only one on the left side of the lane, Diana has seen every piece of transition that's happened on 21 and 22, and ultimately her run comes to an end with a 9-pin.
There would have been a $10,000 bonus courtesy of Go Bowling if perfection had been reached. But now it's simple. Make the spare, move on to the next frame. Pluhowsky can only get to 244.
She shrugs it off, probably remembering the 4-pin.
Ninth frame for Diana. Been hearing Verity Crawley and Daria Payo, but Verity has been very vocal, helping and rooting and being that friend. for Diana. Shots away from ending a title drought, has not won since 2018. And she will reset again.
Had the opportunity to bowl the Pro-Am 2 days ago, and a young woman asked me, she said, if you had one, I'm actually looking at her right now, she's in our, what would I call it? People here watching in our crowd today.
VIP area there?
VIP area. She asked me, if you had one piece of advice for someone wanting to go out on tour, what would it be? And I said, find the tribe of women who will love you fiercely through the good and the bad. Diana and Daria and Verity have just that.
Looking for that 5th title. The last one coming at the 2018 Pepsi PWBA St. Petersburg Clearwater Open in Seminole, Florida at Seminole Lanes. The Latvia native now living, of course, in Fort Worth, Texas. Watch that 6-pin hit that sidewall, kick the 10.
Come on, Shannon. Come on.
Good shot there again by Pluhowsky. So Pluhowsky again. She brings all 3 in the 10th. Max score 244. Zavjalova and Anichka would need 8 if Shannon fills here. First one, indeed.
Ultimately, if Diana wins this match, assuming she can stay behind the foul line and get 8, it's going to come down to how quickly Shannon got comfortable on the pair.
I feel it's arguably, you know, we've always talked about, it's always talked about being number 1, see how quickly you can get accustomed and comfortable, as you just said, to the pair.
Come on, Shannon. Put it right there.
Love tap on the 7-pin.
That spare in the second is yelling at me like, hey, I was the second frame, but I had a life and history of my own, and a spare there would have caused a different story for Diana in the 10th frame.
It was a 3-5-6. Pluhowsky missed in frame 2. Again, she shot 289, 237, 278 to open up round 2 of match play. Follow that with 290, 269, and 239. Dominated match play to grab the number 1 seed. She will shoot 244. A great tournament for Shannon Pluhowsky. But Diana Zavjalova mathematically needing 8 pins. First opportunity as a married woman, a new family to help celebrate this achievement. The exponent has been the ball. Yesterday in qualifying, she threw 1 ball, a halo pearl, all 12 games. But she said things were a little bit different today. She had to make a change. Zavjalova needs 8 for a title. Bang! And there it is. Diana Zavjalova, Ninichka, a champion again on the PWBA Tour. She takes down the PWBA Waterloo Open, her first win since 2018. The emotion, certainly. Oh, you can feel it in the building here, folks.
Kevin, I saw your question in the chat. Yes, this does mean that Diana will have a spot guaranteed in our tour championship taking place in just think 4 days from now, Tour Championship is off and running with a new champion for the 2023 season.
And she was going to be in no matter what, barring if she couldn't go this week. She came into the week 4th in points, so she was good in that regard. But it does certainly make that picture even more clear. Title number 5. She's bringing that home back to Fort Worth, Texas. EJ, you and the fam celebrate the victory lap. And there it is for good measure. Diana Zavjalova, Ninichka, 279, 244. What a moment. Nice. Daria, Verity, Diana, they've all been there.
We're going to need the bear.
See Rich Amy, our wonderful proprietor. Cadillac XBC, a lot of hugs, certainly. In a moment to gather herself.
It doesn't work when I On behalf of the City of Waterloo and Cadillac XBC, I would like to present you the Waterloo Open Championship Trophy.
The people want to hear from you. So I know they say 3, but the 4th time seems to be a charm here. Number 5, how does it feel?
Where she wins the bear.
I think 4 is my new flag because I made 4 shots in a row. I felt lucky today because I wanted the wall thing. So
All right, we have.
You got this. Come on. Okay, no, it's been very long 5 years. I want very long coming, and I just want, first of all, to thank my sponsors. Storm has been absolutely amazing. Turbo, Cadillac X. PWBA, Bill and Barb for believing in me, and all reps have absolutely amazing. And thanks all of you guys have been absolutely amazing. I'm just speechless. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 PWBA Waterloo Open champion, Miss Diana Zavjalova. Thank you all for coming out. This is just the first of 2 more events happening this week. Next up, we have the PWBA Pepsi Open starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Come out and watch the ladies. You can also watch our live championship finals happening on CBS Sports for the PWBA Tour Championship on August 15th. Thank you all for coming out. We hope to see you the rest of the week, and safe travels.
How about that, folks? All right, so as you know, we will have the official photos to be taken, and then we will be joined by Diana Zavjalova, our newest, or latest PWBA champion, we should say. We're going to do our best to get a three-person booth here. We'll do what we can, but we do want to have the bear, if we or wolf, as she described it as well. Sydney Brummett. That show had a few items I think maybe that weren't expected. And all day we had been talking about what to expect, match play and all of the above. But because the Jordan Richard match, or the Jordan Richard Diana Zavjalova match, to me was the key to this whole thing, because I didn't know which way that was going to go at first. It looked like it was going to go the way of Diana Zavjalova, and then Jordan starts to find some things. Obviously, the missed 4-pin late for Diana, and then all of a sudden, things change. Jay Rich then gets up, throws the split, and once she got past that match, it almost felt like we felt the relief for her, in a sense, like you knew this might be the time.
Well, and Jordan's more than likely going to be player of the year. The points are telling us so anyways at this moment in time. When you're facing the person who's going to be player of the year, you know I'm going to have to put up a really good game, and I just missed a 4-pin. She's figuring it out. You don't really know what's going to happen. The 210 from Jordan is unexpected. She went through 3 different bowling balls that match. She was searching. It's difficult. So that match for me was also extremely unexpected and set Diana up to have a lot of confidence going against the person who led the tournament, Shannon Pluhowsky.
Take a look at the final tallies from each match. We'll give you a recap of them, starting with the opening match. Diana Zavjalova, the number 4 seed, taking on Kerry Smith. The number 5 seed Kerry was making her first career PWBA National Finals appearance. She bowled very well. The grand scheme of it, 244 from Diana was a little too much for Kerry in that match.
Absolutely. Kerry was just working on getting her feet underneath her. The right lane paid a little bit of trouble to her in that it hooked earlier, and she had to make a ball change. It was not something she saw in the warm-up time. Ultimately, it cost her the match, but the experience that she gained in that moment for the future stepladder finals that she will make, it's priceless.
Then in match number 2, Zavjalova took on the number 3 seed and Jillian Martin. 249 and 223 in that victory. Zavjalova. All right, we'll take a little break from that, because we are going to be joined by Diana. All right, folks, with the newest champion, Diana Zavjalova Ninichka, your first as now a married.
Oh, wait, it is.
That's right.
No, it's not. Yes, it is. Wait, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's not officially, because I will hyphenate it maybe in the next week. Yeah, we'll make it official.
You're married. Congratulations.
Yes.
Obviously, we've talked all season because of your great performances. You've been in this position multiple times already.
Mm-hmm.
You said you wanted to win the Wolf Bear thingy. You're feeling a little lucky.
Yes,
you got it done.
I
How does it
did.
feel?
I felt lucky. So, like, if you watch the games that I was bowling, pins were falling, like the 7-10 I carried, and so going into the last block today, I saw this little teddy. There it is. His name is Stormy.
Stormy. Oh, there it is. Someone mentioned Stormy.
Yeah, so I won him, and I felt very lucky, and pins just felt my way. So this is my new friend.
You're going to have to buy a plane ticket for him. Oh, no, you drove here.
So this is going to be my passenger on the way back. So, yes.
DZ, obviously you had to run the ladder to get this thing done, and you bowled phenomenally throughout the entire thing. I thought, and we thought, that the match against Jordan obviously seemed to be the one that just kind of put it over the top. You missed the 4-pin late, but it did not come back to cost you, and ultimately you go on to win. How did you feel working your way throughout each and every match tonight?
I was just trying to do what I do, just bowl and focus on one shot at a time, and I really, really loved my ball reaction, the second block. It was a ball that I haven't used at all yet. So using the second block, I bowled really, really well, and felt very comfortable, and I was just really focusing on one shot at a time and one match at a time. And yes, I missed the 4-pin, even though with my hand I thought it had a chance, but it hooked a little bit. But it was good. Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm so happy. Like, I'm way too happy. Yeah.
Competing alongside you the last few weeks of this year, it seems as though you've been very committed to your process and your plan. Can you talk us through any changes that you made coming into this season with that process, and what has allowed you to really thrive these last few events?
Happiness, EJ has been absolutely amazing, and we worked really, really hard off-season to work on my mental health and mental game, because that's something I struggled with the last 2 years with depression and everything I was talking about openly. But he dug me out of the hole, and we got married before the season, and I've just been happy, and I think that changes everything. So. Yeah.
All right, you officially, not that was in question because of your point situation already coming into this one, but you officially lock in a spot at the Tour Championship, so you were going to be in, I think, no matter what. So, but the rest of the week, we got a new tournament starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
So a short turnaround, but how do you, if you can, take some time to enjoy this tonight?
I'm going to go have fast food, because I love fast food, and that's how I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to have a big triple cheeseburger, and then going to go to the hotel with the girls, chill, and then really just focus on tomorrow. Like, I can't be thinking about this now, because I have to focus on next tournament. So I'm going to celebrate when I go home next week.
Diana, congratulations. I know it was a long time coming. The drought is over. You earned it. Congrats.
Thank you so
Congratulations.
much. Thank you.
That is Diana Zavjalova. We'll take it back to the lanes one more time. All right, Diana Z will have some more media certainly to take care of, and well, that's what happens when champions get things done. And congrats again to Diana Zavjalova. We'll finish that recap that we were talking about in match 2. Again, Diana defeats Jillian Martin. Jillian was looking to win her second title. She was the youngest to win a PWBA Tour event 2 years to the date, August 10th, 2021. She won that title and was looking to make or add another layer to her historic and very young career at this point. She fell to Diana 249 to 223. Then that match against Jordan Richard in the semifinals that we talked about, ultimately 212 to 192, but it was back and forth. You didn't know which way it was going to go. In fact, Diana started so well, you're like, oh, okay, this one's going to be. And then, of course, Jordan could not buy a strike. And then all of a sudden the tide started to turn ever so slightly. The missed single pin, then the split from Jordan. DZ takes care of business in the 10th frame. That takes us to the championship match. An early miscue from Shannon Pluhowsky, missed the spare in the second frame. But it honestly didn't even matter at that point. Diana starts with the front 7, putting the stamp down immediately that this was her title to win.
Absolutely. Between Diana saying, hi, I'm here to throw the front 7, and Shannon having one of her only miscues that we've seen throughout today, it set the tone for Diana to come home with her title after a drought of 5 years, and that doesn't seem real. You know, she's put herself in the position to win. She's been knocking on the door, at least for the last 4 tournaments.
Absolutely.
And finally is going to get to go home with a trophy.
Oh, it was fun, folks. This was a great show to watch, and we certainly hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank Chase Kaufman. Chase, great job. Thank you for being here this week. on the 1s and 2s. Congrats to all of our giveaway winners, the Brunswick Mindset, Storm, and Roto Grip bowling balls of choice. We had Shane, Kerry, and who was our last winner, Chase? Karen. All right, so congrats to you wonderful people. Be sure to be checking your emails. You'll get an email from marketing@bowl.com. Big thanks to Patrick Martinez. Instead of grabbing video contents here tonight, he was handling all photos down lane and all during the action. So we appreciate Patrick and all of his hard work. Big thanks to everyone here. The staff has been great here at Cadillac XBC. The Amy family, you saw Rich out presenting the trophy tonight. They have been great, and everyone here, GM Mick, Angie, Connie, Jake, and everyone involved, we thank them so much. We've got the Pepsi Open tomorrow, 10 a.m. qualifying, 10 a.m. Central Time, round number 1. The pattern significantly longer, 46 feet. Tomorrow, you will see Sydney Brummett back out on the lanes tomorrow as well. And, of course, you can watch all of that action right here on Bowl TV. So, for all involved, we'll take you back. The final shots, the winning shot for Diana Zavjalova for Sydney Brummett. Great job, Sid, as always.
Appreciate it. My
name is Emil Williams Jr. We say so long for now. Diana Zavjalova, a champion again. She defeats Shannon Pluhowsky 279-244 to win the 2023 PWBA Waterloo Open. This has been a presentation of the Waterloo Open on BowlTV.com. Bowling lives here. Good night.